What's up, everyone? Austin here from Live Atop Coaching, and in this video I am going to go over pre-workout nutrition and fueling for those of you who are doing CrossFit group classes, right? Going on and doing the daily WOD at your local box. Okay. Since this is nutrition, it should be individualized. So to make it more individualized, we're going to break this down into basically three goals, right? The first goal being aesthetics, those who want to look good naked. The second one being performance, those who are looking to get PRs every day in those classes and just win the workout each and every day. And then the third group is longevity, those who are wanting to live long and prosper and maintain what they currently have into the future. Okay. So we'll go ahead and dive into that. The first one is going to be aesthetics. And as far as aesthetics goes, we're going to focus on specifically fat loss, right? Typically when you think aesthetics, you think fat loss and muscle gain, both of those. And I kind of think you need to focus on one, especially in this context of a group CrossFit class. And reason being for the fat loss is it's hard to be on a true strength cycle when you're doing a group class. Okay, it obviously depends on the programming at your local box, but most people see fat loss in that group setting. Okay, so that's what we'll talk about right now. And also that training within these group classes should also be more aerobic. What I mean by that is they should be more sustained efforts where it's not as high intensity as you might think or should be going after. Okay, the reason being for that is if you're trying to lose weight and lose fat, we're going to want to be in a caloric deficit, right? And if we're doing high intensity training and being in a caloric deficit, that could cause more harm to the body than good. So it's better to go into these workouts at a sustained effort. So for example, maybe we're doing a 20-minute AMRAP and you're doing a round every 5 minutes, and at the end, your consistent splits throughout that. At the end of the 20 minutes, you're like, I could probably do another 20 minutes of that at that same pace. And that's what I would consider sustained effort. Okay. And that'll utilize the aerobic energy system, which will help burn and utilize fats more. Okay. And pre-workout nutrition for this and fueling for these type of workouts and for this goal, I would say is kind of none, right? We're going to be in a caloric deficit, so maybe your meal is a little bit before the workout. But honestly, I would save that for post-workout and go into these workouts a little hungry maybe. Okay, so a little empty stomach since, you should be in a caloric deficit. And if you're truly going at that, like I said, that sustained effort throughout class, you shouldn't feel hungry, right? If you're going high intensity, you might get a little hungry. But if you keep that effort down, sustain it, you'll utilize fats more and won't be craving the sugars. Okay? If you do want something, I would suggest like a BCAAs in a liquid form. Okay, but watch out the sugars on there. Again, you don't want sugar if you're trying to lose weight. Okay, in most cases. That goes to now we can move on to our second goal, which is performance. Again, those people are the ones who are trying to win class every day on the leaderboard, going after PRs, and just want to win in the sport of CrossFit. Okay, and for this, we're going to assume that this is for someone who already has a low body fat percentage. Okay, if you're a higher body fat percentage, you might want to shift to aesthetics first to get to the ideal body fat percentage for the sport of CrossFit, whatever that is, if you're male or female, and then switch over to performance. Okay, that's because for performance and in relation to body fat, you have to earn your carbs. So if you have a lower body fat percentage, I like to say you've earned your carbs and you can do higher intensity training, which is dependent on carbs. Okay. With that being said, AM in midday and PM workout, people with performance goals are going to want probably carbs in the system. Okay. So if you're working out in the morning, you want to make sure that dinner the night before, you might have carved up. So then you're waking up and just going to go hit that workout and then going on to your post-workout nutrition. Okay, that's one way of doing it. Another way is what I call like a liquid protocol, where we're going to want some type of liquid carbs, right? The best being highly branched cyclical dextrin. Then there's carbolin, waxy maize, dextrose, There's some others, but highly branched cyclodextrin is the best. And you could sip on that pre and post workout, pre, intra, and post workout. Okay, you could put some BCAAs in there too, maybe some caffeine or some sort of nootropics like huperzine A or alpha GPC or cordyceps or something like that. Those all have been proven to increase performance. So that would be like a liquid protocol. A solid protocol, so solid food, you'd want more carbs, again like a banana or something, or some other fruit, some protein, maybe some jerky, and a little bit of fats. I would just say let the fats come naturally from the protein and carb sources that you're eating, but you wouldn't want a ton. Okay, so that'd be a solid protocol you could do instead. And I would use all those kind of interchangeably if you're an AM, midday, or PM workout person. Okay, and then the third goal is longevity, and how you're gonna feel for longevity goals is it's just gonna depend, because your training is based on your current and future function, right? What I mean by that is think about what you're gonna want to be doing when you're maybe 60 or 70, 80 years old, and think about that as just movement and how we could preserve our movement we have now to be able to do that into the future. So thinking about that in regards to pre-workout fueling, think about maybe your goal when you're 75, 80 years old is to still be able to hike 14ers. How would you fuel for that? Would you be taking pre-workout, or would it be just more caffeine, like in the form of coffee, right? And then maybe that's what you adopt now, so you're used to that going into the future, okay? And that's just kind of that's going to depend on everyone and their viewpoints on the things they want to be able to do as they get older, okay? But again, I'd say those with longevity purposes, I say fuel as normal. So just what you feel comfortable doing for, that you could sustain as a lifestyle is what you should start with now and, continue on. Okay. But remember, with that longevity goal, the goal is for maintenance into the future. So just keep that in mind. Okay. So hopefully I gave you some ideas on ways to think about for pre-workout nutrition and fueling going into a CrossFit group class. Okay. If you want to talk more on this, or if you want to dive into this and dialing it in, both Megan and I are taking on nutrition clients for $180 per month, which is a savings from the $225 we normally charge if you were not a SoCo member. Okay, so either shoot Megan and I a message, or I think there's something on the SoCo website where you could reach out to us, and we'll jump on a call and just kind of go from there, right? We have a questionnaire for you to fill out to start with before we even jump on a call to get an idea of where you're currently at. And we have another, series of assessments we could keep running you through and dialing in everything so we could best help you and help you reach those nutritional goals. Okay? So again, hopefully you learned something for pre-workout fueling, and have a great day.